Welcome to the Dairy Digest. I'm Dr. Jackie Borman. Today's episode of the Purdue Dairy Digest will talk about why some dairy producers are breeding a portion of their herd to beef and what that means for the dairy farm. With more dairy producers using sex semen and improvements in heifer management, some dairy farms are finding that they have more heifers than they need or than they can feed. The cost of raising replacement heifers continues to increase, with recent estimates out of UW-Madison being over $2,400 to raise a calf from birth to calving. Coupling that with a price that a dairy producer is receiving for dairy bulls being very low, one producer recently told me that he received $5 per calf. As a result, some farms are deciding to breed a portion of their dairy herd to beef bulls to try to increase the price that they receive for calves they sell. The selection criteria and the proportion of cows that each farm breeds to beef bulls varies from farm to farm based on growth plans, reproductive success, and the local market. The most aggressive use of beef bulls on a Holstein herd that I have heard of is breeding the bottom 50% of their cows to Angus bulls. They are determining the bottom 50% based on genomic testing all animals. Others may opt for breeding a smaller percentage, like 10% of their herd, and choose to breed the lowest producers or cows that don't fit the criteria to cull, but that you would not necessarily want to raise a heifer from. Currently, there are about 95 million beef animals in the United States. That includes cows that would not necessarily enter the food chain this year, but still far exceeds the number of dairy animals at 9.4 million cows and about 9 million heifers. It is estimated that within the year, 900,000 to 1 million dairy beef F1 crosses will be born in the U.S. This number would represent 10% of dairy cows calving with dairy beef calves, but would only represent 1% of the total beef animals in the U.S. These F1 crosses will not be raised for dairy production, so the choice that dairy producers usually make on whether or not to keep a calf is already made. That decision to not milk this animal was made when the producer chose to use beef semen. Today, the beef market looks strong. Record high prices were seen in January of 2019, and as of today, the beef price is up 7.5% over the last year. While prices are projected to remain strong, it is unlikely that the market for these beef Holstein crosses will bring prices as high as they have been, with more animals being available. Less is known about how to feed these F1 crosses. Because they have a dairy breed in them, they will have less muscle and more marbling than a purebred beef breed. However, utilizing some technology like implants that are commonly used in the beef industry may help with how they finish. To help with cash flow, many farms are opting to breed more of their herd to beef in order to make money on sold calves, and also to only be investing resources in raising offspring from the top of their herd. If used successfully, this strategy should result in even quicker genetic improvement for the overall herd. At some point, the market will be flooded with these F1 crosses, and the risk is that if you decide to start today on your herd, you don't know if it will remain to be profitable until 10 months from now. This is a risk that some farms are willing to take as milk prices continue to be below the cost of production for most farms, and they are looking to continue to milk the top of their herd and generate more cash from the bottom of the herd through calf sales.